saw him choo-choo.
Well, it's
Welcome. This is the Big Don production and WJRG Sports Talk. I'm Henry Green sitting in for my brother tonight. And we're going to start with the introduction. Well, since Larry, me and you two, the only ones on the big, I'll start with you. Larry Pearson, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's awesome just watching March Madness.
All
It's
right.
great.
So we'll start with in the studio. We'll start with the Mr. Legend, Bruce. How are you today?
Doing great, brother. Everything's beautiful.
All right. And Kendall, how are you this evening?
I'm doing amazing, man. March Madness.
And Donald, how are you, man?
I'm great too, man. March Madness, everything's good.
All right. And the Bishop just joined in on us. How you? Well, Bishop, I see you chewing. Baby, how you doing, man? You good?
No, I'm not. I'm still upset.
Well, okay. Well, look. Well, what we're gonna do? We're gonna start off with the NCAA, but we're gonna start off first talking about the Connecticut men. So the number one Florida beat UConn 77-75 in the second round, ending their hopes of a three-peat.
I'm on your side now, Larry.
How about the disappointing of this season was this? And also, what do you got expectation for UConn for next year? Larry, let's start with you.
Hey, I'm proud of UConn. UConn showed up and showed out. You know, they didn't have the kind of firepower that Florida had, but they played them head to head. You know, but when it got down to it, it was 64-64 with about 3 minutes left, and Florida just had too much firepower, and they took them out. They scored the next 7 points, and Connecticut couldn't get none. But overall, to play that well against a top team, I think that's out there. I think they look awesome. And next year, I think they have a pretty good team.
All right. Bishop, what's your thoughts on the season, how they play the tournament, also what's your expectations for UConn next year?
All right. I echo Larry's sentiments in terms of playing well. I didn't expect them to play Florida as well as they did. And of course, I was in church, so I missed the entire first half. But you know, God first. I had to go for the best team in the universe.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You know, but really, for the little bit that I did see, I was very proud of the Huskies. And for a split second, they had me believing they were going to pull it out. Now, they went toe-to-toe until the last 2 minutes, 54 seconds in the game. That was when they had their hiccups. And I say this, not just them, but so many other teams. You don't ever need to hoist. If you're down by 3, you don't have to hoist 3-point shots. Bad decisions. And I've heard social media run UConn into the ground. No, it ain't going to be no 3-peat, but it doesn't hurt to hope. So really, next year, they've got a 7-footer coming in and a 6'11" power forward. Supposed to be a top 5 recruit. So I'm going to say it up front. Today is March 25th, if I'm not mistaken. You can play this back and on demand. We will regain our crown next year.
All right, Bruce, what's your thoughts on the UConn season, you know, as far as not having the 3-peat, and then what you're looking forward for them for next year?
Yeah, I want to say something about this game here. I was very disappointed in the coaching because the offense wasn't all bad, but the defense, Hurley never made an adjustment. They kept getting beat on the same play.
Yep.
Pick and roll. I was kicking my TV screen. I said, "Who's this guy?"
Well, I hope you didn't have to get a new one.
If they ran it every time down, and it worked every time down. All right, UConn should have blew them out because Florida played a bad game. You know what I mean? and they let them hang around. I think they was up one time, what, by 13, something like that. UConn.
Mm-hmm.
UConn was up by 13?
11.
Oh,
11. I know it was
It was
double
11.
figures. And they
Yeah, they-
started running that play, man. And once they started running that play, it was all over. You know what I mean? It was all over. But as for next year, I got to see what they got coming in. They need another shooter, and they depended too much on McNeese and the other big boy. The center wasn't worth a dime. I mean, he played a little defense, but they didn't get no offense from him. You know what I mean? They need to bring in some dogs, man. They lost all their dogs in the draft. You know what I mean? They should have blew Florida out the way Florida played. I think the door open for Duke now to win it all.
Okay. So, Kendall, what's your thoughts?
Well, same with the Bishop. I was on the best team in the land, team in the universe. So I missed the first half. That's why I was texting you guys in. I even had to, take the wife to eat. So I had to put it on ESPN.
Smart man.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Happy house, happy spouse, brother.
There you go.
You already know. And but I believe that if you're the champs and you get knocked out by a number one seed, then you really, like Larry said, that's a good season as far as I'm concerned. They were pretty inconsistent. They made it. They got to the second round like we kind of thought they would, and they ran up against Florida. They had them. I think more or less, just like he said, they started running. I caught at the end. They started running a pick and roll. They remind me of what, Stockton, Malone, or whatever. They were just running same old play. And I think what happened is that Hurley did not have the team that he's had for the last couple of years to make the adjustment. So.
Yeah, but all he had to do was tell the center how they was getting away with it. They was bringing the center up, the double team man at the foul line.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Their big man broke right to the basket.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
I'm saying, when is Hurley going to call timeout and tell the center, look, never mind double teaming.
Yeah.
It ain't working.
Follow your man.
Follow your man.
That's it.
Well, I know. Let me let Don respond, then I'll throw something in there.
Okay, we'll get back to you, Bishop.
Well, Bishop, I was going to throw this at you. While you was in church, I was on the internet because UConn was winning, and I thought they were going to pull this one out.
Yeah,
I did too.
Looking for a crow flying across the internet so I could kill him. I was going to have to eat crow at the end of this. I just knew it, boy, because UConn was hanging in there real tough. Yeah. I just knew I was going to have to eat crow to the Bishop. That's what I was doing. But let's not forget Dan Hurley, too, man. He actually thought that he had this thing. You see how upset he was after the game?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Losing, man.
Yeah.
He took this real passion, man.
Sure
Let's not
he did.
forget that either.
Yeah.
I think UConn gonna really bounce back. Like if Bishop said, they get a 7-footer. I think they're gonna bounce back, cause
If they get 7-foot power forward, they're good to go.
and I see what Bruce was saying about the pick and roll, but also the boy was making that jumper when the roll didn't work.
Yeah, he was
That boy pulled up and took that jumper too.
Yeah, he was.
That kid, his last name happened to be Richard. I wish he was a relation, so I can't take any credit. But I mean, the thing about it was, and keep in mind, they have the guy that Florida played was 7'6" or 7'7" or something like that.
Really?
Their
Wow.
center. And then they had another guy, I think he was either 6'11" or something. They played their towers at the right time, and they got away with it. See, UConn could play the fast-paced game that Florida played. They had to play a more slowed-down game. And with the slowed down game in the half court set, they could beat the bigs. That pick and roll is going to work all day, Bruce. I mean, who going?
No,
It was all day. That was all day because they were rolled their sit between their center and their power forward. That pick and roll was working all day long. UConn had no answer. Caravan, Reed, Johnson. And McNeely's a freshman, so I can't expect a lot out of the kid. But I was happy that he.
I'm talking about Reed.
I know you're talking about Reed.
I'm talking about Reed. It was on Hurley. It was on Hurley to call timeout.
Mm-hmm.
I think was getting away with it. They had the two big men. They didn't dominate the game like people were saying they were going to dominate.
No, they did not.
Them under control. But in the second half, when they started bringing Reed up the double team at the foul line,
that's when they were getting beat.
They never adjusted. Hurley goes for timeout. So look, man, never mind double teaming. This man shooting that jumper anyway. You make sure that the center don't break on that basket on you. He was down there all by himself. No power forward or nothing.
The main thing you got to understand is whether they double team or single team, he was going to shoot that jumper. That was an automatic foul practically. You
That's
know, you wasn't going to do nothing about that.
Come up to the foul line when the man gonna shoot the jumper anyway. That's exactly what
well,
don't leave your team a jump shooter. You follow that man where they're killing us on this pick and roll.
All right, and just so you know, the power forward I think is transferring out of Indiana to UConn.
Okay.
The other kid is coming in as a freshman. The 7-foot is coming in as a freshman. So I'm not expecting much. The bottom line is this. They did what they needed to do. It just wasn't enough. So with that being said, but to me, the game of the day was the Maryland game. I mean, how on earth? I have no idea how Maryland pulled that out, man. I mean, it was crazy. You know, last second buzzer beater. But that was exciting. So, you know.
That was a Sunday.
That was Sunday.
1 foot off the glass.
Yep. Off the glass. The main thing I'm doing now, I don't have a dog in the fight. So now I got to pick another winner. I mean, anybody but Duke. That's all I'm going to say on that.
So on the next topic, we're going to talk about the Sweet 16. Okay. That's coming up for the men starting on Thursday. So,
all right. Anybody want to tackle that?
Okay, so you got BYU, which is number 6, and the 6th seed, number 2 seed, Alabama. So, we'll go around the horn and let you guys pick. Larry, we'll start with you. Which team do you think going to win that game and why?
That's a no contest. Alabama got a great team. They was ranked number 1 at one time. They physical. They can shoot the ball from anywhere, and BYU just can't match up.
Okay, so that right there should be a landslide. Should be a blowout.
Yes.
Okay. What about you, Bishop? What's your thoughts?
Hey, you can't argue with that. These guys on Alabama are physical, athletic.
They all men.
They grown men. You might as well call them what they are. You know, they're almost ready for Social Security. No, they ain't that old. Anyway,
the NBA
and BYU is a good team. Let's not forget. I mean, they got a high percentage 3-point shot, but Alabama can defend the 3, and that's where it's going to hurt BYU because they've got no real inside presence. Alabama, pay attention to this game. Alabama's going to be points in the paint. It might be 72-10. I mean, they're that good. They can go inside. Oh, you know how you Bruce, you said Florida, UConn should have did something about Florida's pick and roll. Watch Alabama's pick and roll, and they come from 2 different sides too, plus a backdoor cut. You never see it coming until it happens.
All right. So, Bruce, what's your thoughts on the BYU Alabama game?
You know, Alabama, they're pretty tough, but at this point of it, I'm not going to count nobody out. You know what I mean? I'm looking at teams like St. John, man, who had them leaving early.
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to count anybody out at this point.
Okay.
Ain't no more brackets now, you know, where you can say, I'm this seed and that seed. All that seed out the window now.
So, but in that game, if you would pick a winner on who you think will win that game, who would you put your money on? Who would you
put my money on Alabama?
Okay.
Bruce ain't crazy.
Money away.
Hey, he told Bruce ain't crazy.
All right. So, Kendall, who do you like between BYU and Alabama?
Me?
Yeah.
All right. In that bracket, I'm just gonna go right to the end. Duke versus Alabama out of that bracket.
Yeah, well, we're gonna go over the whole bracket. So
yeah, so I just think Alabama is gonna win there. So I'll stay there. Alabama is gonna win there.
Okay.
And it's not even gonna be close.
Okay, that's what Larry was saying. What about you, Donald?
I'm just proud to be an Alabamian,
I
right?
know. I'll guarantee you. I know you had to go to Alabama, man.
So you
All
got
right,
mine.
so everybody good with that game? So now
Yeah.
Maryland against Florida.
Wow.
So let's start because Maryland's ranked number 4. They got the 4th seed. Florida's number 1. Larry, let's start with you.
Hey, Florida got too much firepower.
Say it again,
They're
baby.
too
Say it
big,
again.
and they got too many guns. I think his name is Clayton. Clayton
Yeah.
hit from half court. You
Yep.
know, I seen those boys play, and they got monsters everywhere, coming off the bench. Maryland got about 7 guys, 7 okay guys. They ain't got no monsters.
You don't
Okay.
need but 5.
It's gonna be a blowout.
You don't need but 5, and they got 7. They in good shape.
I said they ain't got no monsters. They got good players. They got no monsters. Florida got some monsters
what?
out there.
So Bishop, what's your take?
Well, let's put it like this. This will give you a better perspective. Maryland is the mid-Atlantic version of UConn, and maybe a half step better. So Florida is going to see pretty much the same thing they saw with UConn. And if they play terrible this time, they could get beat. But I don't think they're going to play terrible 2 weeks in a row.
So you're picking Florida.
I have to, because I mean,
Okay.
listen, I'm gonna tell you, here's my thing, and I tell you what I did. And of course, I'm on all social media, and of course, I got a few friends who are Florida Gators, and I sent a message, and in that feed was the Florida men's basketball Instagram feed. I simply said, congratulations to the Florida Gators on dethroning the reigning national champ. Then I said, my only hope is that you go on to win everything, because it would make me feel better to know that the team that beat my team is now the reigning champ. And then I said, see you next year.
All right. So Bruce, who you like between Maryland and Florida?
I better keep my money in my pocket and stick with Florida. It's short.
I ain't mad at you, Bruce.
But I like Maryland, though.
Yes, I do too.
I like Maryland, but I know they can't do it.
No.
With Maryland, I got my 75 cents in my pocket zipped up, but
Hey Bruce, can I sing your old Sly and the Family Stone song? Wishful thinking.
Yeah, so you going with Florida too. What about you, Kendall?
I'm going with Maryland, but I think Florida will win it.
Okay, there you go with Maryland. Okay. What about you, Kendall?
Well, I think Florida's going to win it. I would like to see Maryland win. You know, they're both ex NCAA champions. Where Maryland won back in the day, what was his name? Was Juan Dixon? Was his name? Was the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Len Bias played
no, he played for Maryland.
No.
Yeah, he outplayed Michael Jordan when they played against each other. You know,
Did Bernard King play for them too? Maryland? No.
No,
Albert King.
Albert
King and Buck Williams.
Albert King.
Okay.
And Buck Williams.
Yeah, but
Now, just a quick FYI, you know who they beat to get to the Final Four? They beat UConn and Caron Butler that year.
Oh, okay.
Well, here we go. So I'm going to go with, I would love for Maryland to win it after having that buzzer beater off the glass, you know, to win the game. That would be a good show, but I think Florida is going to clamp down after what almost happened to them with UConn.
Okay, is that Bob O'Donnell?
Yeah. You ready for it?
Yeah, go ahead. Let him go.
All right, Bob. We're ready for you.
Yeah, get a sound up.
Major League Baseball season gets underway in a couple of days, where 28 teams will be in action. However, it technically started earlier in Japan with the Dodgers and Cubs 2-game series. We know who won that. The Dodgers swept the Cubs. Among the games on Thursday are the Yankees hosting the Brewers. We should have good weather. Mets are at Astros. Red Sox are in Texas. Well, let's go to March Madness, where USC's Juju Watkins or
Yes.
her ACL. So she's out for the remainder of the season. However, the Lady Trojans are on to the Sweet 16 after defeating Mississippi State last night. UConn's Paige Beckers had 34 points in her final home game as the Lady Huskies advanced to their 31st straight Sweet 16 after beating South Dakota State. They will now face Oklahoma in Spokane, Washington. Azzi Fudd will return next season to UConn for her final year and will pass on the upcoming WNBA draft. On the men's side, UConn was eliminated in the round of 32 by Florida. I thought they could have beaten the Gators. That was a good game. 2-point win for the Gators. Maryland advanced to the Sweet 16. Now, Derek Queen hit the buzzer beater against Colorado State. That was the game of the weekend. And a lot of people thought he traveled. He didn't get the call, so Maryland goes on to win.
You didn't
Those
travel
two
then.
teams, Maryland and Florida, tonight along with BYU, Alabama, Arizona, Duke, Arkansas, Texas Tech. UNLV is finalizing a deal to hire Josh Pastner as their next men's head basketball coach. Former NBA star, you remember him, Mike Bibby. Didn't he play for the Knicks? He agrees to coach Sacramento State.
Henry Bibby's son.
Minnesota is hiring Colorado State's Mike Medvedev. Iowa will hire Drake's Ben McCullum. Texas is hiring Xavier Sean Miller after firing Rodney Terry. Iona hires Dan Gerard after firing Tobin Anderson. Onto the ice in the NHL, where the Panthers lead the Atlantic Division. Bruins are in 7th place in that division, while in the Metropolitan Division, the Capitals are on top. Devils are in 3rd, Islanders 4th, and the Rangers in 5th place. The Islanders and Devils both lost last night, while tonight the Rangers take on the Kings. That's among 9 other games. On to the hard court. 8 games tonight. Among them are the Knicks and Mavericks. There's good news. New York guard Jalen Brunson is making really good progress on his rehab from a right ankle sprain. Coach says he's day-to-day. Celtics Jason Tatum exited last night's win over the Kings with an ankle injury. Tatum appeared to be in pain after he crashed into Domantas Sabonis, who received a flagrant 1 foul. It appears that he avoided serious injury, so that's good news for the Celtics. Ronnie James of the Lakers had 17 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds against the Bucks last week. Thus, his best game of the NBA season so far. The Warriors have signed Kevin Knox for the remainder of the season. It appears Steph Curry will rejoin Golden State in Miami tonight. His availability will depend on how he responds to treatment for his pelvis. On to tennis. American Coco Golf lost in straight sets yesterday to Magda Linette in the round of 16 at the Miami Open. Francis Tiafoe was also knocked out on the men's side. The world's tallest man and Harlem Globetrotter, George Bell, has died at 67. He was 7'6" and called a gentle giant. Former NFL player Matt Stevens has died at 57. I know you guys are going to talk about George Foreman if you already haven't. He passed away Friday at 76. The death of former Yankees Brett Gardner's son remains under investigation in Costa Rica. Connecticut's Trinity College, got to congratulate them. They won the Division III men's championship. They beat NYU. And St. Francis, who was in the first 4, is moving to Division III in 2026. And that's all the sports I got for you tonight, Donald.
Great, Bob.
All right, Bob. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Bob.
You guys have a good night.
You too.
You also, Bob.
So, Donald, you didn't get a chance to see it between Florida and Maryland.
I'm going with Florida State for sure. I mean,
Okay.
to me, they didn't play really well against UConn, so I don't expect them to do that again, back to back. So, and Maryland just won by a buzzer beater, so I think Florida State gonna take them out.
Florida gonna take it. All right, so moving on, Arizona, they taking on Duke. Larry, you back? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So who do you like between Arizona and Duke?
Arizona got a nice squad, but I think they don't play as a cohesive unit, to me, They sometimes they're playing well and sometimes they're not. I think Duke got a complete team, and I think the depth of Duke will take them out, though.
Okay. What about you, Bishop? Who do you like between Arizona
Well, as much as I don't want to say it, I can't deny the honest truth. Duke will beat Arizona. Arizona they play that, I don't even know what to call it. I call it that Western style basketball. After they shoot, everybody runs down the court. But Duke got this little kid called Cooper Flagg. He's going to be running with them down the court.
Mm-hmm.
And if they trot down the court, Cooper Flagg's going to be slamming all afternoon long. They don't have an answer for Cooper Flagg.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the best player in the country, ain't he?
But right now, and I'm trying, and he's got a great supporting cast. I can't think of the kid's name. He's an outside assassin when it comes to shooting.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, the guard. Yeah,
Yeah, he's an outside assassin. So I mean,
Proctor play for them too?
who?
Proctor.
I'm not sure, but I got
I watched so many games they had to do Proctor. He was lighting them up.
Wow.
I'm gonna tell you like this: Arizona's if they ain't watching film, and they better be watching this year's film and watch it carefully because Cooper Flagg's gonna be the difference maker in this game. Okay, they got a good inside-outside game, and I don't see Arizona being able to handle them.
Okay, what about you, Bruce? Who you like between Arizona and Duke?
Yeah, I got Duke to take it all, man. Duke, Cooper Flagg, he got plenty of help.
Yeah,
they got a tough squad at Duke, man. I don't think nobody can beat them. I thought Florida till I watched them play against UConn, and they don't have it.
They don't have it. Okay.
No, they ain't gonna win it all.
What about you, Kendall? Who do you like between Duke and Arizona?
Duke. Cooper Flagg is leading in 5 statistical categories. Second player in NCAA history to do that for his team. He's leading in points, rebounds, blocks, steals, assists, everything. He is ready for this. He is their main man. He's from Maine,
Maine man.
Yeah. And he's must-see TV. We want to see this kid on the big stage. He plays an all-around game. He's at Duke. His grades are good. So, I mean, and his mother and father both play basketball.
Yep.
They're both ex-basketball players, Celtic fans. So, it's in the family. So
yeah, that he's still supposed to be in high school,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's also supposed to come to UConn to change his mind.
Wow, he that young, huh?
Grades are good.
Yeah.
He's so good, he just skipped right over senior.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was supposed to come to UConn. He backed out last minute.
Because him and McNeese,
McNeely.
they played together at Montburn.
Yeah.
That's right.
And Queen played on the same team.
They had a tough squad, man. They had a lineup, man.
Okay.
Imagine him if he had played for UConn. We would be talking three-peat right about now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and say it, Larry. Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
So what about you, Donald? Who you like to Arizona and Duke?
Lit him up, man.
Yeah.
Look at the points that he had last game.
And the other one is his name is Ken Nipple.
Yeah, but Proctor was the man.
Proctor getting down.
Yeah, he was the man.
Yeah, they're doing their thing, man.
Yeah. What about you, Don? Who you like between Arizona and Duke?
Well, you just got to go with Duke, man. After seeing the way Cooper Flagg been playing lately, for a minute that looked like he was going to be hurt, but he bounced back real quick and real strong.
Yeah, and he's just a freshman.
Just got to go with Duke.
That's right.
Wow.
He is just a freshman.
Okay, so now
he's going to the NBA next year. This is his only year he's going to play. You got to just know that.
Yeah.
Let's stay one more year, man.
Yeah.
No, he's going.
He's going.
He might be going this year, huh?
He's going.
So
if he wins, he definitely going.
So the last game for Thursday is Arkansas against Texas Tech. Who do you like, Larry?
That's a coin flip. That's a coin flip. Texas Tech got the better team. Arkansas got the better coach. I think I'll go down to the wire, but I think Texas Tech gonna pull it off.
Okay, they're the number 3 seed. What about you, Bishop? Who do you like?
I'm going the other way on this one. Arkansas does have the better team, and the coach don't play the game. So basically, Arkansas, with their athleticism, and they do have a good athleticism. I watched them play St. John's, and there's not a team in the Big East that handled St. John's the way Arkansas handled St. John's.
That's right.
And taking that in there, Creighton was as close as we could get. So even taking that measurement right there, that tells me right there that Arkansas is going to try to make a statement. They haven't won a championship since Nolan Richardson, and I think they're going to try to make a push for it.
Okay, what about you, Bruce? Who you like between?
Yeah, I got Arkansas, man, and they got that young boy too. His grandfather, DJ Wagner.
Uh-huh.
I mean, all this
from Milt Wagner.
Yeah, they got the great grandfather, Milt Wagner, DJ Senior, DJ Junior.
Wagner's got a job all over the place.
Okay.
Arkansas, man, I like them too. Now they tough now.
But you going with Arkansas, okay?
Yes, sir.
So Kendall, what about you?
Well, I'm going with Arkansas, but like I say, I like that Wagner kid. I like his name. His father was Deshaun Wagner, who was out of Camden, scored 100 points in the game. And then Milt Wagner won a championship with Denny Crum in Louisville.
Right.
That's right.
Never Nervous Purvis and Billy Thompson. They won that championship. And Denny Crum said from the beginning of the year, he said, we're going to win the championship. And they did. Milt Wagner was a starting guard on that team. So we got a generation up there. And then you got, like I say, Arkansas played that Nolan Richardson kind of game. They knocked out St. John. So I'm going with Arkansas.
Okay. What about you, Big Don?
Well, I got to go with Arkansas, too, for the simple fact they did knock out St. John.
Yeah.
I like Tennessee. I watched them play, but Arkansas looked like the better team to me.
Okay. So we'll go with the last one. So Old Mississippi against Michigan State. Who do you guys like? Start with you, Larry.
Michigan State got a bunch of guys that have been around a long time. They got a lot of seniors, and they're well coached. And I think they can take off anybody except the 1 seeds. You know, I think Michigan State even got a chance to come out of there.
Okay.
You said they
got a chance to make the Final Four.
What about you, Bishop?
Well, I'm gonna share something with you. And like Florida, Michigan State has twin towers, but these aren't your average everyday twin towers. One of the guys without the injuries has a Porzingis-like game without the injuries, I said.
Yeah.
So, you know, they might be able to possibly contain them inside, but they can't hold them outside. Problem here is, going back to what Bruce said earlier, a lot of these college players are doing the pick and roll. They've got a perfect pick and roll with a shooting guard that can just take your eyes out if you ain't paying attention. Yeah, they got a lot of seniors, but Tom Izzo is a mastermind when it comes to these types of games. So let's wait and see what happens. I think Michigan State will actually pick off a number 1. So I'm going to leave it right there.
Okay. What about you, Bruce? Who you like between them two?
Who they playing? Michigan State. Who they playing?
Or Mississippi. Ole
Miss.
Yeah, I'm going with Michigan State, man. I like what Larry said about them, man. I'm going with Michigan State.
Okay. What about you, Kendall?
Well, I like the storyline of Michigan State. Jason Richardson's son is playing, and he's wearing his father's number, and his father won a championship with Mateen Cleaves back in the day.
Yeah.
So here we go. I'm going to go with his real name is Jaden Richardson, but they call him Jace Richardson. Jace Richardson and those Twin Towers are my upset special in certain games. It will not surprise me if they're in the Final Four.
Okay. So what about you, Don?
For some reason, I just like Ole Miss. I always liked it, Ole Miss. So I'm going to go with Ole Miss for now.
Okay.
It must be
All
close.
right. So the next game is Kentucky against Tennessee. So Larry, who you like?
Hey, Tennessee got some dogs. Tennessee, I watch Tennessee play. They got some real dogs. They got some go-getters. I think they can beat anybody on a given day because when they on, they on. You can't stop them. Tennessee and a landslide.
Okay, a landslide. All right.
Landslide.
What about you, Bishop? We like Kentucky.
Well, listen, he took the words right out of my mouth. If this were a poker game, Tennessee is the royal flush in this game. Okay? And I'm talking about all spades, all spades. I mean, they go about 3 or 4 deep from the bench that can double-digit score. So, keep your eyes on them.
Okay.
Just keep your eyes on them. And if they get beat, it's only because they did not. They pull a Florida State if they don't get beat. The thing about this,
they show up.
They didn't show up. That's the only way they're going to get beat is if they don't show up.
Okay.
Thing is troubling me is we got all these SEC teams, 14 of them, and at least 3 of them are probably going to make the Final Four.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about you, Bruce?
What you said?
It was Kentucky and Tennessee.
Kentucky and Tennessee. I'm going with Tennessee because Kentucky is up and down. They're not consistent, and plus they miss Calipari.
Yes, they do.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? So I'm going in. They got I think Bruce Pearl coaching Tennessee.
Nah. Bruce Pearl's coaching Houston.
He used to.
Yeah, he used to coach them, but he's now coaching Houston, I believe. That's Calvin Sampson. That's Sampson. Pearl's coaching. They beat Creighton the other night.
Okay.
Child Faculty School.
No, Bruce Pearl's is coaching Auburn.
Auburn.
So I'm gonna get Kendall and Donald, and then you guys can talk about the rest of the Sweet 16 on Friday because I want to move on and talk about Juju and some of the other stuff before we run out of time.
Yeah.
Okay. So Kendall, did I get you? Your thoughts?
No, well, I'm gonna go with knock. Who's there? Knock. Who's there? Orange. Aren't you glad you're taking Tennessee? They were orange.
You know what? You know what? Oh my God!
This is unanimous today, Henry.
All right, cool. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna talk about the women a little bit, but we're gonna start with USC Juju Watkins because she got called off the court, which everybody saw with the injury, and now with a torn ACL, she's out for the season. They did win last night, 96-59. Yeah. But do you guys think? Because I'm gonna go over their Sweet 16 a little bit. We'll just try to do that kind of fast. So and their Sweet 16, they have to play Kansas State. Do you guys think they're gonna win that game and advance a little further? You think it's gonna be it? Let's start with you, Larry. What do you think?
I think they'll go on adrenaline and beat Kansas State, but it's gonna all fall apart when they place UConn, because UConn's gonna blow them straight out the water.
Yeah.
I think this game they're gonna win just of adrenaline playing for her, but when they play UConn, they don't have a chance.
What about you, Bishop?
Listen, you're only asking me to turn around and be a carbon copy of what Larry just said. Kansas State is not, although they might be a 5 seed, they're not that dangerous. Right. USC should be able, with their bench scoring, to hold them down and at least beat them. They'll beat them double digits, but they won't beat them like they beat teams in the past. And like Larry said, because UConn should walk past Oklahoma. But keep in mind, Oklahoma ain't no pushover. So Paige Becker and A.G. Fudd and all them, that girl Sarah Strong for UConn, that's no joke. Do you hear me? She runs the floor. She runs, okay? She's a stocky girl. She's about 6'2", and she's stocky. Maybe every bit of 202, 203 pounds, pretty close to that, but she runs, okay? She runs. You didn't hear me. She run. Are you listening to me? She runs. Anyway, the truth of the matter is, I see UConn coming out of that region only because of the loss of Juju Watkins. Juju Watkins is at least 20, 28 or 30% of their scoring. So that's a huge drop. That's a huge drop.
So the brackets and I'm gonna get to you guys because I know time is ticking. So now in the women, the Sweet 16, you got North Carolina against Duke.
That's crazy.
Who do you guys like real quick?
Duke.
So who you guys got?
What's that with the women?
Yeah, just the women now. North Carolina against Duke.
Oh, I got Duke. Duke.
I got Duke.
Anybody else?
Duke.
Everybody got Duke?
I'll take Duke.
Okay. And so next game is Maryland against South Carolina.
Let's say it
South
together, everybody.
Carolina.
1, 2, 3.
Carolina.
Right?
Okay.
Okay. So LSU against North Carolina State.
That's gonna be a
LSU.
good one.
That's gonna be a good one.
LSU. They got that girl Flante back.
Flage is back.
Flage
But
back.
also that girl from North Carolina State is the nation's leading scorer.
Yeah, but they got that girl Morrow. She back. Her foot ain't hurt no more.
Nah.
She was struggling because them two stars was out. Morrow averages something like 15 rebounds a game. You know what I mean? Double.
So that game sounds like it can go either way.
Yeah, it could go either way because, like you said, North Carolina
Okay.
State's tough too now.
They got a girl in North Carolina State. She's averaging 25. Juju averaged 24 point and change. This girl led the whole nation in scoring. You know,
Okay.
so
She's tough now.
yeah.
Okay,
You
so
only
what
got to
about
contain 1 on North Carolina State compared to 3 on LSU.
Yeah, she got help. She got help.
Yeah.
okay? So what about Ole Miss and
I'm just not
UCLA?
going to knock out the coach, Kim Mulkey. I just think that LSU has got too much firepower.
Yeah.
Kim
Yeah.
Mulkey, one as a coach, one as a player.
Uh-huh.
You know, so she's been there. She's going back.
Yep.
So,
UCLA on this one for me.
UCLA hands down.
okay, what about you,
Who
Bruce,
might make it to
Dono, and
the Final
Kendall?
Four?
Who they playing?
They playing
They're
Ole Miss.
playing Ole Miss.
It don't matter. Drop the mic.
Oh, you like
Drop
Ole Miss?
the mic.
How's your
Okay,
one?
that was UCLA. So what
They're
about Notre Dame
Alabama.
and TCU?
Go back. Say that again.
Some popcorn. but
Notre
they-
Dame and TCU.
Do you have to ask on that one?
What did he say?
Notre Dame all
You said
day.
Notre Dame and TCU.
Oh, Notre Dame.
Yeah.
That's not even a question.
Who
Notre
they playing?
Dame.
Who they
But
playing?
hey, wait a minute. Now,
TCU the
fellas,
number 2 seed though.
hey, Henry, here's another quick point. You're looking at 2 Christian schools playing each
Okay.
other. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Now, I know you guys have seen the TikTok with the little kid said, "Did you see our game? We lost 84-0." But I think they had Jesus.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what
Hey,
about Tennessee?
but before you go out here, let's have a little bit of fun. I can see this game now. Yeah, you might have a good point guard, but Jesus is your shooting guard on both sides.
All right. So who do you guys like between Tennessee and Texas?
You know
I
what?
gotta go with Texas. Texas.
Wow.
Texas been a gangster all year.
Yes.
All year.
Yes.
Texas.
Yes.
Okay.
Although one thing's for sure, I'm not sure what's going on with the Texas coach. I don't think the referees is paying attention to the game. The young lady is beautiful, but come on, refs, pay attention to the game.
They watching her instead of the game.
Oh no, have you seen the Texas coach?
No, I have not.
I don't know her name, but she is gorgeous. Do you hear me?
So hands down UConn, right? They
Hey.
played Oklahoma.
Texas got it.
That's it,
Okay,
Texas.
So the
Oh,
UConn
talking
game,
about UConn.
so UConn
That's a
played
runaway.
Oklahoma.
That's a runaway.
That's a runaway, right?
That
They
should be a
shouldn't even
run.
show up. They shouldn't even show up.
Win the whole thing.
Yes, right.
Everybody
UConn
agree?
gonna win the whole thing. They're gonna drop the mic.
Oh, yeah,
South
UConn.
Carolina.
Yeah,
UConn
I
gonna
agree
win the
with
whole
that.
thing.
All right, so
Juju
real
going.
quick,
There's no
we're gonna-
stopping.
They got
Well, you gotta remember, you got Dawn Staley in South Carolina. They might have beat them by 28 the last time they played, but that ain't
How
gonna
much
happen.
you beat them by? How much?
28.
They beat by
28.
30. They 30. They dropped 30 on
Now
them.
you gotta take 2 points away because that was trash. Those last 2 points was trash points.
They walked him out their own house. They walked him
Yeah,
out
they
their own house.
did. And at that time, UConn was kind of struggling a little bit and
Yeah.
going into that game. And I know they snapped South Carolina home winning streak, whatever what it was, how many games they won.
7, yeah.
So real quick, we'll go to NBA real quick. Just touch on this game. Now the Golden State Warriors and Jimmy Butler return to Miami tonight.
Good game. That's the game of the night.
And so,
Yes, 7:30
what are you
game.
guys expecting from Jimmy Butler tonight?
40 points.
At least.
At least 40.
If he really wants to throw pie in Pat Riley's face, he better do 50.
I was gonna say 50.
Well, Steph might be coming. Steph's been out, but
Steph ain't gonna be Steph's ain't gonna be 100%. He might be 90%, but Butler's coming with a vengeance. You trade me away, I'm gonna make sure you pay for this.
Well, he gonna tell his kid, remember?
Give me the ball.
He wanted to be traded.
Yeah,
You got to remember, Steph will step aside and just let him do his thing.
Yeah.
Like
that's
you
it.
said,
That's
Steph will
it.
just let him embarrass him.
Yeah.
He'll
Yeah.
do that. He'll let him embarrass him.
He will help him embarrass.
Steph shot from the tunnel again. It was all over the TV today.
Yeah, that Luka did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
That-
so
I mean, I couldn't even throw half court. This guy throwing all the way from the court,
From the
tunnel.
doggone other
It's
foul
over the
line.
thing all over the TV.
So do you guys think Pat Riley gonna give Jimmy Butler a video or tribute? You know, what do you guys think?
Here it is in a nutshell, Jam. Hold on a minute. Let's look at this. Hold on, look at this. They're talking third quarter, a video tribute to Jimmy Butler. So you gonna, during the third quarter transition period, play a Jimmy Butler video. You're playing it during the time. Let's get this right, fellas. You're playing it during the time when people are going to concession stands, heading for the bathroom, making themselves comfortable for the beginning of the second half. Half the people are going to be out at the concession stand when they start this thing before the third quarter. Think about where he put it.
Wow.
If you really want to pay him a tribute, you would have put the tribute right at the beginning of the game. Wouldn't that make sense?
Yeah,
He puts it at halftime. What do you guys do at halftime? Either one of you guys in the studio, when you go to a Knicks game or a Nets game or whatever game, halftime, you get hot dogs and soda and
Kind of hot dogs.
Definitely might be a bathroom break.
Hey,
so you know.
Bathroom break.
so what Pat Riley is telling Jimmy Butler, just be happy you're getting one.
That's exactly what he's saying. Just be happy you even getting this. I mean, 2/3 of the stadium's going to be out somewhere in the bathroom or at the concession stand, and they already know this.
Yeah.
And for those Jimmy Butler fans, they're going to sit there.
I'm a little surprised why they want to give him anything when he really didn't win a championship for them.
Well,
Pat Riley throwing him a little tribute. I don't think he even did that for LeBron James, did he?
no,
I don't know.
no,
I don't know if he did or not.
he did not. He did not. LeBron James says, I'm leaving. He says, bye. And that was it.
Yeah. So, all right. So, real quick. So, George Foreman passed away this week.
Wow.
So, first I want to ask you guys, where would you rank George? But then also, I want to ask this question. On top of what, if George Foreman in his peak and Mike Tyson in his peak, if they would have fought each other, who would you guys pick? Think that would win that fight?
It would have to be George, because George was so big, he was gonna push him off and try to knock him out. I mean, knock him out the ring. And Mike Tyson was coming straight at you. And he couldn't come straight at George. George's too big.
Yeah, I agree with that. What about you, Bishop?
Well, I'm waiting to hear Kendall's take on it, but here's my take. I go with George too. You know why? Because we later found out by way of one Buster Douglas that Mike Tyson had a glass jaw. So, and one of them George, if Foreman could hit Frazier and literally pick him up off the ground on a downward punch, what do you think is going to happen to Mike Tyson? He gonna be talking. This is ludicrous. Oh, I'm hurt.
All right. So you
That was
guys in the
good.
studio, who want to start first on that one?
I was George Foreman. I think styles make fights. When you look at that Frazier thing, Frazier kept on dipping and dipping and dipping. His first punch was right uppercut. After a while, George got him here. Mike Tyson's here. You know what I mean? The reason why Muhammad Ali was able to beat him is Muhammad Ali was here and here and here and threw it from here. George Foreman comes from here. He's 6'3", 250.
Something like that.
219, fighting the same way. Styles make fights. I think that's why Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, Tony Tucker gave him a hard time. I think George Foreman was tailor-made for Mike Tyson. George Foreman would have put him right out the ring.
Yeah, I agree. What about you, Donald?
Well, Holyfield beat him twice too. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
So like you said, George Foreman without a doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, Tyson is my man, one of my
Great
favorite
fight.
fighters of all time.
Yeah.
George would have came as a big giant against him.
Yeah.
He would have popped him, but George would have caught him on that right pop.
Yeah, I agree. What about you, Bruce?
Yeah, I'm looking at the styles of Joe Frazier and Mike Tyson, very similar.
Very similar.
Yeah.
And what Foreman did, the Joe Frazier, Tyson wouldn't stand a chance either.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with you guys.
But that was illegal what he did to Frazier. It was illegal.
I'm gonna put it to you like this, and I was a big Frazier fan. I was crying for Frazier because I knew he was hurt.
Oh yeah, they should have been stopped that, man.
Yeah.
Man,
You know what I'm saying?
but that
They
punch
should've
when it
been
lifted
stopped
him off. When I saw him get lifted off the ground, I said, "Oh God, please don't let him
So
throw
now,
in the towel, something."
yeah.
Man.
So keep it in boxing now. Evander Holyfield won 4 championship belts compared to Muhammad Ali, who only has 3 championships. And he feels that he should be the greatest fighter of all time. But this is my question to you guys. Now, if you take Muhammad Ali's career before he got banned for the 3.5 years where he couldn't fight, during that stretch, to me, he was the greatest heavyweight as far as with foot speed, hand speed. I don't think no boxer, I don't think anyone could beat Muhammad Ali during that, because when he came back and fought Frazier and all other guys, he wasn't the same fighter. He was slower. You know what I mean? He lost 3.5 years of his prime. So, when he fought Foreman and all the guys, he was an older version. But the younger Frazier, the younger Muhammad Ali, that's to me when he was at his peak, when he was at his best, when he was calling, "I'm going to knock you out in such and such a round," and do it with his foot speed, hand speed. Do you guys think there was any boxer as great as him? I'll leave it up to you guys. And whoever want to start, and you guys think about that for a minute, how good Muhammad Ali really was.
I ain't even got to take long, and I'll make it quick. Holyfield is not even in Ali class.
Thank you.
That's simple to me. I ain't got no more.
Thank you.
But what I was saying, Don, not only Holyfield, but I was just saying, like, really any boxer. When you look at the size of Ali, his foot speed, his hand speed in his prime, before he got banned.
Heavyweight, that was nobody.
There was nobody.
Heavyweight, that was nobody. But I'm just saying, you start off with Holyfield, and that's why I say Holyfield's conversation.
Gotcha. Everybody in agreement on that one?
Well, now I'm gonna say this: Holyfield did win 4 titles. How long did he hold on to those titles?
Yeah,
Let's do that comparison. Ali won his 3 titles. How long did he hold his titles before he lost them? And keep in mind,
those comparisons. I don't have none of those comparisons because Holyfield don't hold a candle to Ali.
I'm with you on that, Don. I'm 100% with you. You know what I'm saying? That's like the Mayweather Leonard discussion. There was no real discussion there. Mary, whatever his name is, Merriweather.
Mayweather.
No, Merriweather. I didn't say Mayweather. I said Merriweather. You know why? Because he's in La La Land. If you think you could beat Leonard, and for Holyfield to think that he was as good, even as good as Ali, never mind better than Ali. So he took 1 punch to the temple too many in my book.
So now the next question I'm gonna ask you. This is about Bronny James. Currently in the G League, he is averaging 22 points a game. That's his season average. In his last game, Monday night, I think it was Monday, he scored 39 points. And then on Friday or Saturday in the NBA, for the late, he scored 17 points there. Have you guys think now he is finally where now he's starting to show that growth? Because you got to remember, he had that heart condition where he collapsed. So it took him a little while to get back. But now, do you guys think now he's starting to develop into showing that he can play? Anybody want to take that on?
Listen, anybody that can score 37, 39 points in the G League, even in the G League is numbered. Really, them guys up and down in there, man. You know, from the pros back and forth. So it ain't no slouch league. You know what I mean? If you can go in there, I remember the guy was laughing because he couldn't get but 4 points.
Yeah.
Now he scored 37, 39, and 17.
Right, but he also, but his average there is 22 points a game.
Yeah, but I'm saying, even without his average, anybody can go in the G League and score 37 points.
Right.
That's right.
I don't care if it's only one time.
That's right.
Right.
You know what I mean? It ain't working like that. And then go up there where he pulled a bit, he can't even make a layup. Now he scored 17 points against the bad boys. Yeah. I mean, I think they played Milwaukee, if I'm not mistaken.
Milwaukee.
Yeah, they did.
He had Giannis skating one time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he getting comfortable. You know he made it. You don't hear too many people talking about him no more.
Right.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is also, he's really backing up his father when his father stepped Stephen A. Smith, who, you know, obviously, and to be perfectly honest, I understand both points of view. I understand Stephen A. Smith doing his job, and that's what he gets paid for. Signed a $120 million contract. LeBron upset about you going off on your kid. I'll probably do the same thing. But what happened is that young man responded, because ever since then, he's been playing the game. You know what I mean? LeBron said that every time that kid saw Stephen A. Smith, he dropped his head, you know, knowing this man was going to say something bad about him. But he's 18, 19 years old. I mean, what does he know? This is a sport. You can see if he's 21, 22, or came in like LeBron, the number 1 overall pick. He was the 55th pick, playing with his dad, who's the all-time greatest player to play the game. You can make that argument. He and Michael Jordan and Chamberlain and Kareem. And so now, after all of this is said and done, this kid ain't going out getting 2 points, 5 points, getting 17, 39 in D-League. So now he's showing up for his dad. His dad showed up for him. He's showing up for his dad. So he's letting us know that, listen, I belong in the NBA. He belongs.
Yeah, but you know what else I'm looking at? Look at the guys that got picked before him.
Yeah. Ain't not many of them doing too much.
And I ain't talking about second round. Bronny got picked second round.
Second round.
Look at the guys that got picked before him
Ain't
in the first round.
Too much, yeah. You know, so
yeah, he's doing good. Anybody else want to have something Andy saying that?
Yeah, well,
one more
Ronnie definitely coming into his own,
yeah.
and you know, making me eat my words too. You know, but I think he's doing it for his dad, and I think he's showing off. And his dad knew he had this in him all the time. Even if his dad knew he had it in him.
Yeah,
that's why he took it for him.
Yeah, people expect too much too soon too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
he go in there
Yeah,
and dominate. It won't like that.
Yeah, well, I was one of those. I think he can't score no more than 4. I thought like that, but now I'm thinking different.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's doing good. He's doing really good right now. Really good.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna close this question out, and I'm gonna start with you, Bishop, because this is gonna be for you, and then everybody can chill in. The Minnesota Vikings, they bypassed on Aaron Rodgers, and now so J.J. McCartney is expected to be their starting quarterback. Now, after going 14-3 last year with Sam, what's his name, Darnold?
Yeah.
Okay, what are you guys' realistic expectation for the Minnesota Vikings? Because last year, no one, even the Bishop got to say this, he didn't expect them to go 14-3 last year. So
I really didn't.
We'll start with you. What are your expectations? Because
all right,
he's going to be their quarterback.
All right. First of all, let me say to those, I won't mention Don or Bruce's name. I'll leave their names out, who thought Aaron Rodgers was coming to the Vikings. I won't discuss that part. So I'll leave that out. Okay.
I thought so. I will admit.
But
I thought,
anyway,
was saying
now
center
there's the question out there with the quarterback competition with Levis from Tennessee, but that's speculation right now. And it's talking about giving up a 6th round pick to get Levis from the Titans. Okay, so that's on the table. It's JJ McCarthy. He hasn't been named the starting quarterback yet. But if he's named the starting quarterback, I expect something similar. There might be a very slight variation, 1 or 2 games here and there, because I got to keep reminding you guys, Minnesota's offense did not win those 14 games. The defense won better than half of those games for Minnesota. Brian Flores's defense won about 7 or 8 games for Minnesota, and it was not the arm of Sam Darnold, because we saw Sam Darnold's true arm in the playoffs when they played the Rams. Poor Justin Jefferson had to be at least 7'2" to catch a pass, and that never happened. He had Addison open, I don't know how many times. Hockenson coming over the middle. He went blind. Oliver was open. Naples was open. Man, the doggone water boy was open, and he couldn't hit him.
Everybody got any towel paper?
we were allowed to crying last year.
It'd be 8 o'clock. It'd be 8 o'clock.
Season is over, Bishop.
Hey, listen, and I try to minimize it.
Season is over, Bishop.
Hey, listen, like a roll of paper towels, I had a grocery list. The bottom line is I'm expecting JJ to come in and do what he does. And I'm going to put Minnesota at maybe 12-4 or 12-5. No, I'll give him 13-4.
13-4.
I'll give him 13-4. You got to remember, the defense won a lot of their games last year.
They did, but I'm just saying that's a high expectation. Man.
Well, see, listen.
What about you, Larry? What do you think?
Realistically,
realistically,
it's sitting at 10 wins max, 10-7, and that's giving the benefit of the doubt for 10-7, because inexperience is going to cost you. And playing with him, he's going to do some things good, but he's going to do a lot of things, make a lot of mistakes. He's going to be growing pains, and if you think it's not, then you're dreaming.
And then the division is tough too, because you still got the Rams. The Lions and
Detroit
and
Lions.
Detroit and Green Bay
And the Bears. Don't
and
forget
the Bears got better.
So you that right there, you got 6 games with them teams right there.
You got to look at their defense. Their defense is vastly improved. And again, like I said, that defense is going to be the reason why they win at least 13.
13. That's kind of high.
And Larry's letting us know that his hands are clean.
What about you? What do you think? You think they're going to win 13 games?
I think they'll win 13. They might steal one and win 14. We never can tell.
I think this is a tough one, man, just because JJ didn't get no play last year, so don't nobody had no clue what he gonna be like.
Well,
Right.
It's hard to say that they'll win even double figures until we see what.
And that's true, because you look at Jordan Love. We really didn't know how he was going to play, but Jordan Love did sit. I don't know how many years he sat behind Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
2
About
years.
4 or 5.
Yeah, I don't know how long he sat back there, but he looked good. What about you, Kendall?
Well, I think that the formula is a successful formula. Pat Mahomes came into the league and sat a year behind Alex Smith. JJ McCarthy's coming off a championship game, winning the championship for Michigan. Now he's up in Minnesota, had to sit a year, got a chance to watch it. And what if they're in practice, Sam Darnold's a mediocre quarterback? Let's just say if that happened, probably say to yourself, wait a minute, I got the same team that he had. I think 14-3, 15-2. I think that division, the only losses that Minnesota is going to suffer is going to be probably Detroit in their division. I just think that they're going to do just as well as they did because that kid is inheriting that system.
So what about Green Bay?
Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah. Can you reserve Kendall's seat on the bandwagon? Put him in business. Take him out of coach and put him in business.
I still think Philadelphia's gonna come out the NFC East.
You pay.
Maybe we better hold that seat till later.
You pay. How much money you pay?
Well, what about you, Donald? What's your thoughts?
I really don't know much about the young man, so I'm gonna agree with Bruce. Let's see what he do.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna be begging for Sam Darnold or Rodgers to come.
Oh wow.
Please.
You can say whatever you want to say. Look at your record with Sam Darnold. It was great. It was excellent. And I'm gonna think this young
Donald,
guy,
come on, man. You know, I can take you through each game and show you where the defense won the game and not Sam Darnold. I mean, at one point the defense was outscoring the offense. Something wrong with that picture. Christmas list. Donald Frank.
On the bandwagon. Not on the bandwagon.
He was.
You say that purple smoke for
Purple haze.
But you know the Minnesota, they do got a good team.
Tampa Bay and the Buck.
Right now we're talking about the Vikings.
But what
when
I'm
the
saying
Vikings do it, it's when I believe.
Listen, I'm just saying, with the team the Vikings have, people don't realize this, but Trent Dilfer was a winning quarterback on a team that
was defensive minded.
Brad Johnson also had one with Tampa Bay. I think, because Sam Darnold wasn't really that great. I watched it.
They're good game managers, like Cam Newton was talking about.
Like he said,
they're good enough to manage a team to get where they want to go.
And if that kid manages
they ain't no
team,
superstar.
Right.
We'll see.
If he plays good, they're gonna be fine. Because they got
all he has to do. All he has to do is do what the quarterback from Purdy. He has to pull a Brock Purdy. That's all he needs to do. And if he can pull a Brock Purdy and manage that offense. Because see, now I'm gonna show you what you're missing, guys. We got Ginkle, Gennard. We got an interior pass rusher now, 2 of them. Okay, on offense, we picked up 2 great. We replaced our guards, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, we replaced our center. We got 1 extra running back. He ain't gonna be that good, but he's gonna be manageable. It's all it's gonna be. The bottom line is this: I'm counting on Minnesota's defense to keep them in games and win games. That's why I say what I say.
Okay. So, anybody got any further thoughts?
No, sir.
They want to talk about
10-6.
Is that Kansas City you talking about? You're right.
The most.
You're right.
I'm trying to let you know. You get high hopes, you get your train up, you get the smoke going, you all these suits and sweatsuits. It get blown out.
All right.
All right, so Bishop, close us out tonight. Everybody good?
Yes, we're great.
All right. We always got to say thank you to you, the viewers, for watching. We want you to continue to come back for more great sports talk here on WJRG Internet Radio, a Big Don production. Special thanks to Bruce, my man Bruce Austin, the legend, to Big Don of Big Don Productions, always doing an awesome job producing such quality shows. To my man Kendall Tyson. And my man Larry right down here with me with Maryland, but he's jumping ship on me, fellas. Anyway, and then all the way from Florida, Henry Green, Minister Henry Green, and of course, I don't know, Dr. Jerry Green. Love you, my brother. We know you watch it. Our hearts are with you and our prayers are with you. Let us look to the Lord. Father God, in the name of Jesus, thank you for your loving kindness, your tender mercy, for this opportunity and chance to be able to be in your presence, even as we talk sport. Father God, thank you for the camaraderie that's been developed here, for the fellowship of these great men, these mighty men of valor. But God, now it's time for us to move on to whatever our next is in this given day. So we need you to continue to lead, guide, guard, govern, protect, and correct us as we move forward, Father God. Thank you for giving us sweet sleep as we rest through the night, that we may rise in the morning and continue the assignment that you have given to us. Now unto him who's able to present us faultless before his throne. To the only wise God be glory, majesty, dominion, and power, both now, henceforth, and forevermore. And let the great men of God say amen, amen, and amen.
All right. You gentlemen have a great, great, great evening.
All right.
Go Vikings!
We'll get through on Friday. We
Great
need as
show.
many as we can get on Friday. So we'll pick
Okay.
us up again with March Madness with Bishop leading the way.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Here we go. God bless you.
Don't bring that
All
over.
right.
I must say, you're much better at March Madness than you are at the Vikings.
You know what? I'll take that. I'll take that. And then, hey, now you're not a Lakers fan. You're what? A Celtics fan?
I'm a Laker fan.
Okay,
just
so when
with
y'all go down in the play-in game, you know, I'll have sympathy
Y'all
on
were
you.
playing.
No, we'll be in there.
No.
Just
Cancel Don's bandwagon. No, Don's out.
You
Okay.
got this.
Kendall's in, Don's out. Okay. Bruce is still on the fence. Don't worry about it. Henry ain't coming nowhere. He's still drinking the Haterade from the Gatorade. And Larry right across the pond from me. He act like he don't know it, brother. So yeah, you got it. All right. Yeah.
They're gonna ban him out of Maryland.
everybody have a good night, man. Everybody
God bless you all.
God bless.
Fellas.
Let's go.